everyone, welcome back to Traffic Jam with Cam. In this episode, we are going to talk about how to get out of a blah mood, or kind of getting things done when you don't want to. But before we talk about that, let me give you an update. I have so much to tell you guys. Number one, I started working last week. I had my first full week of work at a dental office. I told you in the last episode that I got my dental hygiene license just in time to start work. It came on a Friday, and I was scheduled to start on Monday that next week, which was last week. So I didn't get to really ease into work at all. I started right away with a full day of patients, and it was stressful. Working in a dental office as a hygienist is way different than school. In school, we had 3 hours or more per patient, and to go from that to 1 hour per patient on the dot in a dental office is such a big change. And this is because the time goes by so fast. Like, you bring the patient back and sometimes they're running a little bit late or they have paperwork to do. And so you bring them back at like 5 or 10 after. And then if you have to take x-rays, you try to do those as quick as you can while still doing a good job. And then, you're like 15 minutes into the appointment and you need to start scaling and start cleaning their teeth. And as you're cleaning, you're going through and doing assessments during the cleaning. So you're assessing their gum health, you are assessing their calculus or plaque levels. Then you still need to polish all of their teeth and floss before the dentist comes in for an exam, which usually needs to be about at the 45-minute mark so that you can get them out on time. And depending on how long that exam takes with the dentist, you schedule them for their next appointment, you get them out the door, and then you have to go back to your room, clean up your room, finish up your notes from that patient, and prep your room for the next patient that's coming on the next hour. It just seems to go by so fast. So I'm sure the more I do it, I'll get down my rhythm and it will feel a little bit less chaotic in my mind. The next update I have for you guys is that my mother-in-law came to visit us for a week last week, and we got to do all the fun touristy things again. She had never been here before, and so it was so fun to show her around. It was super weird to be a tour guide in a city that you still feel like you're new to, but we lived here for 3.5 months already now, and looking back, time has just flown by. Feels like we've been here for such a short time, but it was cool to realize how many things we know about the area and how kind of familiar we are already with the area to someone that is brand new to it. Also, it was Adam's birthday this week, and that was super fun to celebrate. We went to this cool burger place, and we also went to this little ice cream place called the Dairy Godmother. I'd never heard of it before, but he said that it looked super good, and we went there, and they had the most delicious waffle cones and gelato, I guess it is. Oh no, not gelato. It was custard. And that was very good. We got this mint custard with Oreos mixed in it to try, and it was delicious. The gift that I was most excited for him to open too was a replica of a Survivor puzzle. You guys know we love Survivor. You heard it on the last episode. And this may sound silly to you, but if you're a Survivor fan, you are watching the players complete insane puzzles during challenges, and you wonder how well you would be able to do it. Well, yesterday Adam got to find out, and he said it was definitely harder than he thought. And I would agree with that. But it was super cool to be able to do an actual puzzle that is from Survivor and see how good you are at it. All right. Our traffic jam of the week this week is being the newbie. I've been the new person plenty of times, as I'm sure you have too. This week and last week, being a brand new dental hygienist straight out of school and being the newest hired person at a practice has been super hard. Some of the things that I think are the hardest are, first, that it feels like everybody knows each other, and that can definitely make you feel like the new person and feel insecure if you feel like everyone's kind of talking and hanging out and is familiar with everyone else except for you. It's also hard because everyone has their own flow and like way of doing things, and if you haven't found yours yet in that new place, that can be kind of uncomfortable. I also feel like I'm in people's way when I'm the new person. I have definitely experienced that last week and this week, where I just feel like I'm in people's way because they already have their way of doing things. It's also so hard to be the new person because you have so many questions, but you're scared to ask them generally. Usually I feel like I'm pretty brave about asking questions. I'm very curious in life and I ask questions a lot. But at work, at this new job, I've been a little hesitant to ask questions because I just don't want to put anybody out. Like, kind of like how I was saying before, they all work so efficiently. And also, when I asked one girl where something was, she told me, well, if you look around your room, then you'll find it. And that made me not want to ask her anymore or ask questions anymore. So that was a little bit scary. But yeah, you're learning a new job, and then on top of that, learning how they do it at their office or company specifically. So being a new person is something all of us have experienced and something that we will experience again, and that is just a traffic jam of life. So how do we get through it? Something I think is really important is to take notes about questions that you have that come up throughout the day. You try your best to answer it yourself, and then if you're not able to, then ask someone else, and ask them even if you're scared that they won't like it, because they were new once too, so they can just deal with it. And it's better to ask even if you're nervous and end up doing it the right way than maybe messing up or making a mistake that would have bigger consequences, if that makes sense. Also, remember, they were new once too. So no matter what they say or how much your coworkers, teammates, classmates think they know, they were new at some point. So remind yourself of that, and hopefully that will give you some peace of mind. Another thing to remember is every mistake that you make and every small thing that you remember to do the next time is one step farther away from being the new person. My dad told me this on the phone the other day, and it was so reassuring. I was telling him that each day at work, I feel like there's one thing I remember to do that I didn't do the day before, and that I was excited about that. And he was like, that is so awesome. Be proud of yourself for that. He said, every time that happens, you're one step further away from being the new person. And yeah, that was just such a good reminder to me, is like, be proud of the small steps that you're making, right? And each of those small steps that you make, you're getting further away from being the new person, and you won't have to be new forever. And at some point, maybe you will be the one that is helping and encouraging and teaching the next person that is new. So if you're in a season of life right now where you are the new person, like me, just remember it won't last forever. Be patient with yourself and take advantage of your support system too. Talk to someone that you can trust to listen to you and give you encouragement throughout this time. And it won't be like this forever. Well, that leads pretty well into the topic for this week, which is getting out of a blah mood. So what do I mean by blah mood? You know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it hits you all of a sudden, or sometimes you just wake up and feel bad. In the last episode, we talked a little bit about anxiety and kind of randomly being sad. Sometimes that's part of it. You don't want to do anything productive. You might feel tired or stressed at the same time. You might feel guilty for taking breaks, but you have to because you're tired. You maybe you want someone to listen to you, but you don't know what to tell them. And sometimes you feel like you don't even want to talk. I get it. I've been there, and I still have plenty of those days where I feel all of those things. Sometimes it doesn't last super long, and I'm able to kind of get over that hump more quickly. And other times it just feels like all day. So if you have experienced any of these things, however you feel like you have these moods, we're going to talk about it. We're going to share some advice, and we are going to remember that we're not the only ones. For me, sometimes, well, most of the time, it kind of comes all of a sudden, and it feels like I just hit a wall. Like someone will say something and it stops me, and I just get really sad. Or I'll be working on or finishing a project and not be happy with it, and then all of a sudden I just want to give up and not do anything else. And the first thing that I have to say about this is it is okay to feel this way. It's okay to be in a bad mood. You don't have to fix it. A lot of times what I need the most when I'm feeling like this is just to sit in my bad mood. Yes, that sounds negative. And if you're someone who does not like dealing with emotions, or it feels worse to sit in your bad mood, then maybe this is not the best solution for you. I just know that sometimes this is what works for me. So just know you don't have to change your mood right away if you don't want to. Like, it is okay to cry and listen to sad music and cry more and feel bad for yourself, and then you can move on. For example, a couple weeks ago, before I started working, I got up, I got some yogurt and granola for breakfast. I sat down to relax and watch one of my favorite YouTubers' newest videos. And a few minutes in, as I was just eating my breakfast, I realized, crap, I need to do some laundry today. Also, I should spend my time cleaning instead of wasting it by watching this YouTube video that I'm enjoying. That's an Enneagram 3, by the way. So as soon as I finished my food, I just paused the video. I didn't even finish it. And I got up and I put my bowl in the sink. And while I was doing that, I saw that there were some dishes in the sink, so I started washing them. Then I started a load of laundry. Then I started cleaning the bathroom, and I saw that the trash needed to be taken out, so I did that. Then I started feeling angry that I couldn't just relax and watch a video that I wanted to because I had to do all of these chores. And it put me in a bad mood for the whole morning. Can anyone else relate to this? I was doing all these chores. I was angry that I wasn't just chilling and letting myself just watch this video, but I just couldn't get over that. And I was, in this blah mood, and I just let myself feel angry and sad and stressed for a little bit. And then I thought, okay, what do I need to do next here? This is where my second piece of advice comes in. When you decide you want to change your mood, think of things that make you happy. So if you're a list lady like me, write down a list of things that bring you joy and pick one of them to do that day. This is something that can be really helpful in a situation like the one I just shared, where you feel overwhelmed by all of the tasks that you have to do and kind of angry that you don't get to enjoy time by yourself and just relax. Do those things and get them done, and then keep in mind that you'll get to do something fun or that makes you happy later in the day, and use that as something to look forward to. My third piece of advice is, if there really are things you need to get done, take them on one at a time. Yes, that's right. You don't have to finish everything all at once. This is something that's super hard for me, and I'm still learning to do. But pick one task that you would like to get done, do it, and then take a 15-minute break. Then after that break, prioritize another task, and eventually it will all get done. This is something that really helped me when I was in college. I would often come home from classes and feel really overwhelmed at all of the assignments that I needed to finish and the things I had to do. And if I'm just trying to sit down and cram and get everything done in one sitting, I would find that I would get way more distracted and let other things pull me away from what I needed to get done without taking any breaks. So I learned how to prioritize things. I would pick one assignment to get done, right? And once I would finish that, I would let myself have 10-15 minutes to get on Instagram or watch a YouTube video or go get a snack. And that way I was kind of refreshed and could come sit back down in my seat and pick up on the next thing that needed to be done. Another way you can do this, if you have a project that might take longer than 15 minutes, or if you're studying for an exam, a quiz, something like that, you can set your timer for 20 minutes and work on that project or study for 20 minutes. Don't let yourself get distracted. And then when that 20 minutes is up, then you have to get up, take a lap around your house, go get a drink of water, do something so that you're not doing that task for longer than 20-30 minutes. And most of the time you will find that you do that task better or complete it more successfully because you took breaks and were refreshed throughout the time that you were working on it, and your brain is able to think a little bit more clearly. My fourth piece of advice, which maybe is the top of my list, if not number one, it's really close to the top, but listen to music. Music is medicine for the soul. I wholeheartedly believe that. Even if you are not a music person, I promise it can change how you feel. This summer when we moved and I started having more extreme anxiety, someone told me to listen to music at least one time every day. Music is grounding and it can bring you back to where you need to be, or it can also take you somewhere else. What else can do that? I think that is so cool. Some of my favorite artists to listen to right now, I just thought I'd throw this in there in case you are looking for some new music to listen to. I love Nova Amor and Boy in Space. I also love the 1975 and Casey Musgraves. Those guys just give you the feels. I feel like all of those artists are so comforting and peaceful and cozy. And when do we not need that? That's the good stuff. On days where I feel busy or don't have as much time to listen to music, some ways that I kind of squeeze it in are I'll put in headphones while I'm doing my makeup or getting ready in the morning and just listen to a few songs. Or on my drive to work, I'll listen to some music. Speaking of listening to music in the car, really sometimes what heals the soul is going on a drive by yourself and turning on In the Heights or old Miley Cyrus and just turn up that music, just blast it and sing so loud in your car by yourself. And that always makes me feel better. So if you haven't done that before or you haven't done it in a while, you should definitely try it. And I think it will make you feel very good. Number 5, I'd say move your body. This is a touchy subject for me sometimes because I have always thought moving your body was just code for working out or exercising, and that's overwhelming to me, especially at this time in my life right now. Sometimes there are seasons where you don't feel like exercising every day. Maybe you don't feel like getting sweaty and getting your heart rate up for an hour. And it's taken me a long time to be okay with that. And honestly, there are still times where I feel guilty about not doing strength training or cardio every day. For example, in the last 2 months, I've gotten back into doing yoga, and it is exactly what I need at this time in my life. I've been focusing on my breath and connecting my breath to like my body and my body to my breath and meditating, and it is so nice. And sometimes still when I sit down to do yoga for like 30 minutes, thoughts of guilt will come into my mind that I'm not going on a run or I'm not doing something super high intensity. And I am learning to let those thoughts go because yoga is what my body and my mind needs right now. And I feel proud of myself for listening to my body in that way. I haven't always been able to do that. And like I said, I'm still learning how to do that. But I can feel that progress in myself and it feels good. That being said, move your body can be whatever you feel. It's not going to be beneficial if you're forcing it or if it's something that you hate doing but you feel like you should. So listen to your body, take a walk around the block and then come back. It doesn't have to be very long. If you have a jump rope for 10 minutes. Or my personal favorite, put in some headphones and listen to some slow music and dance in your living room until you feel better. If you didn't know, I am a dancer, and that is another medicine for the soul for me. And personally, my favorite style of dance is contemporary, and so what helps me the most is to kind of turn on more peaceful and emotional music and just kind of doing some improv in your living room. If you don't like that style or you prefer to go, a little more high energy, turn on some 80s music and do some jazz. That's good too. Whatever you feel, like I said, listen to your body, do what feels good to you, and you will feel better. Number 6 is smile with your teeth for 10 seconds. I shared this trick in my last episode, but I just had to share it again. It's so good and it actually works, you guys. If you have not tried it, please try it, and it's going to make your day better. I just know it. Smile with your teeth and count to 10. Don't cheat. Do it for 10 whole seconds and you'll feel better. Okay, we're gonna do it right now because this is what the girl in the video that I was watching, this is what she did. And even though you can't see me because this is a podcast, we're gonna do it together. Okay, ready? Smile with your teeth. Let me see. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, keep smiling, 6, 7, show me your teeth, 8, 9, 10. Don't you feel so much better? You can laugh at yourself, keep smiling, do that however many times a day you need to. Do it when you wake up in the morning, do it in the middle of the day for a midday pick-me-up. Yeah. Just, don't you feel better? I feel better. Last but not least, the 7th piece of advice I have for you is write down some affirmations. I have heard about this before, but I hadn't tried it until recently, and I actually feel like it has been helping me a lot. So what I did is I just took a piece of paper and I actually looked up on Pinterest. Maybe I think I looked up on Pinterest, and I also Googled like daily affirmations for self-confidence or daily affirmations for personal growth. Whatever you are needing help with at that time. There's also like affirmations for anxiety, and I think I looked up some of those. So look up some of those affirmations, and I picked like 10 maybe, kind of mixed them all together into a list of things that I felt like I needed to hear and that I needed to read. And I wrote them down on the paper. I made it look all cute. And then I taped it to the mirror in my bathroom. And this was just a couple weeks ago that I started this, but I hung it up in my mirror. And then every morning when I would go into the bathroom to brush my teeth, I would start brushing my teeth, and in my mind, I would read those affirmations. There have been a few times where I've read them out loud, and that is very powerful. I've heard that reading them aloud and saying them to yourself can be even more beneficial. And so I definitely need to do that more. Sometimes I get a little bit self-conscious, and that is totally not the point of them. It's to make you feel more confident and feel more strength in yourself. So I'm setting that as a new goal for myself. I'm going to say them out loud more often. And I encourage you to do the same. Go online, pick out some affirmations that resonate with you and that would help you in the morning or at night, whenever you want to read them. Start your day that way or end your day that way, or both. And I think that can really help you get out of a bad mood, because you're reminding yourself of your worth and your abilities and how strong you really are, even if you don't feel like it. And I think that doing that, just for the day can help you feel better, but also it can be really beneficial in the long term, because you are telling yourself these things and you might not believe them at first. I still feel like I have a hard time believing them some days, but the more that you say it, the more you will believe it. And I truly believe that. So try it out, give it a shot. It can only help. So why not try it out? If you don't know what affirmations are or what I'm talking about, they're just like small sentences or phrases that are meant to encourage you. So for example, like some of the ones that I have written down on my paper are: I am doing my best. I choose to be happy and to love myself today. I am strong. Today is going to be a great day. I am proud of myself. I will not worry about things I cannot control. I'm grateful for all that I have. I choose to have positive thoughts. Things like that. All right, we are going to finish up here by reading some submissions from you guys. I'm so excited that some of you have sent in some things that help you get out of a bad mood, and I'm so excited to share them. If you missed this, I posted this question a couple of weeks ago on the Traffic Jam Instagram page at Traffic Jam Podcast, and you can go there on my story and read my questions of the week, and you can submit answers to those, or you can just DM me on Instagram or email me at trafficjampod@gmail.com for your submissions, and I'd love to hear your input next time. So the question that I asked on Instagram was, how do you get out of a blah mood? And someone responded and said, I brush my teeth. And that was the first one I saw. I was so excited to see that, because way to go. Great job brushing your teeth. I'm so glad that helps you get out of a bad mood. And your teeth and your gums will thank you. Someone else said, go on a walk or take a bath with an ice cream bar. That is a genius idea. I love taking baths. I know some people don't, but if you have a good bath bomb and a good book, or like they said, an ice cream bar, you can't go wrong. Someone said journaling. I think that is a great option, and that's something that I'm not the best at. I probably do it once a month. I would like to do it more, because sometimes when I write down things in my journal, I only do it when I feel like I have something like big or important to write about. And hearing that kind of reminds me that it doesn't have to be something big. You can just write in your journal to express your emotions, or kind of just get everything out of your mind and like down onto the page. And I think that would be really beneficial. So this person also said, I write down everything in my journal about my life that is good and that I'm thankful for. That's awesome. Someone else said, find someone to serve. That is so great. I think that's such a good thing to turn to. A lot of times when we're feeling sad or in a crappy mood, it can be really easy to feel bad for ourselves and think about how it just sucks that I feel like this. I wish that I felt happier, or I just don't want to have to do this, but I do, and I don't like the situation that I'm in. And it's just really easy to think about yourself. I actually was telling Adam this the other day, that sometimes it's hard to think about serving other people and worrying about what other people have going on in their lives, because you get so caught up. It's easy to get so caught up in the things that are happening in your life. But when we turn to others and realize that everyone else has these problems too, right? Because we're not the only ones. We can really make someone's day better and kind of get outside of ourselves by serving other people and looking for ways that we can brighten someone else's day, and in turn that will change ours. Someone said, sing Scream in the car. She knows. It's helpful. I'm telling you. Try it out. Someone said, going for a walk outside or going to the gym. I think that's awesome. Super important to move your body and listen to your body. And if that's something that will make you feel good in that moment and kind of get you out of your head, that's a great option. Another submission said, I do something for serotonin. So go look at plants, get some sunshine, work out, etc. Going to look at plants, that's a great idea. I used to be better about doing that, but I'd love to start doing that again. When I was in college and on my own, I have realized now that I was so brave. When I was first going to college, like, I was totally by myself. I didn't go to college with any friends. I didn't room with anyone that I knew. And so a lot of times I was just all by myself, and I would just go on dates with myself. I would go to the mall alone. I would go to the movies alone. I would go to plant shops or go to like Home Depot and go to the garden section and walk around. And I just loved that. Like, I thought it was so fun to be independent and be living my own life. And looking back, I'm like, wow, I was so brave. I don't know if I would be like brave enough to do that right now, but I think that's such a great idea. And, go do things for yourself and go do things that are going to make you happy. And if going to look at plants makes you happy, go do that. I'm definitely going to go do that after this now. Someone said, sit in the grass barefoot. I think that's such a great idea. It kind of goes along with the plants, or like going outside and taking a walk. Being outside and breathing in fresh air, being in the sun and in nature, that can definitely be a mood booster. So I think that's great. Okay, that is all the submissions I have from you guys and the advice that I wanted to share today. I hope you enjoyed this episode about kind of how to get out of a blah mood. I hope that you take the time to try some of these things the next time that you are struggling or having a rough day. And just remember that you're not alone and it's okay to be in those moods sometimes. If you have ideas for upcoming episodes, or things that you want to share. I'd love to hear from you. So like I said, you can message me on Instagram at Traffic Jam Podcast. You can also email me at trafficjampod@gmail.com. And follow me on Instagram if you want to be a part of those weekly questions and see what's going on over there. Thanks for listening to Traffic Jam with Cam. And don't worry, you're not the only one who's scared of people with strong personalities. Okay, bye.